Hello Year 11 and welcome to the first lesson of this week's history work. So we're still in the Revolution of Medicine, 1750 to 1900, and we're coming to the end of this time period. So today's lesson we're comparing two similarities between hospitals and nursing in the 19th century. So the first learning objective is that we're going to know what hospitals were like in the 19th century. We're going to do a little bit of revision before that to make sure we understand. We're also going to understand how the role of nurses developed in the 19th century. So we're looking at two women in particular. We've got Florence Nightingale and Mary Seacole. And we're finally going to assess the impact that Nightingale had in improving hospital care during this time period. So I'd like you to pause the video now to look at the key words. So the first learning objective is to know what hospitals were like in the 19th century. So I'd like you to click on the quiz link and to do a little bit of revision from medieval and Renaissance and to have a go at the questions. Could you have a look at the screen? You can also see a picture of Birmingham Infirmary. We have got the drawn layout in black and white, and we also have a picture of the hospital today, which you can find on the Dudley Road in the city centre. The second learning objective is to know how the role of nurses developed. So we're looking at two women in particular, Florence Nightingale and Mary Seacole. So I'd like you to open and read the document entitled Nightingale and Seacole. Once you've read through the information, I'd like you, for developing students aiming for a GCSE grade 4, on a whiteboard, could you write down 3 achievements of both women? For secure students aiming for a 5 and above, could you please create a mind map of how nursing became a profession and use examples from both women? And master's students, can you think about how far do you agree that Nightingale had the larger impact on nursing? I'd like you to have a think and to answer that in a Peel paragraph. The third and final learning objective for this lesson is to assess the impact of Nightingale in improving hospital care. So many of Nightingale's nursing practices, whether it was her Notes for Nursing book or her hospital at St Thomas's, which you can see in the photograph at the top, she mainly focused on making sure that hospitals were clean and hygienic for their patients, and she also taught her trainee nurses to pay attention to detail, so making sure the hospital is laid out in a formal way and therefore you can't lose anything and you can't get anything unhygienic. So Florence also advised on the layout of hospitals, and mainly it was about how the layout of a hospital would enable a nurse to do their job much better. So as you can see, we have the drawing of Birmingham Infirmary, with a very long hospital with the wards coming off both sides. So developing students aiming for a GCSE grade 4, can you list 5 words to describe Nightingale's impact on hospitals? Secure students, I would like you, with your 5 words, to find someone that you live with, set a timer for 1 minute, and to explain to them the impact that Nightingale had on hospitals. And master's students, could you complete secure, so still your 1 minute of explanation, but could you ask the person in your home if they have any questions and see whether you can answer them? So today's lesson then, you need to upload a picture of Nightingale and Seacole activity as well as the impact that Nightingale had, your 5 keywords. I look forward to marking your work, and you've completed lesson 1 for history this week. Well done.